We're here with Clayton Murphy. Man was freaking ripping it in the 8. Talk about today.
Man, what a day. Like, I knew it would be probably quick. I set off the pace, and the last 200 was just all guts.
Unreal. I got one. I want you to react to one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Jewett ran 50 points in his middle 400. Does that make sense to you?
So I ran like 24.9 in like my middle 200 from 4 to 6. And I looked at that and I was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I am so impressed with the way Isaiah ran. It was like the most guts I've ever seen. Like, he's got unbelievable like headspace to do that and to like go out as hard as he did and then put the pedal down at 400.
Oh my God. And still ran 28 to close it.
And I was like, everybody, I was like, I've never seen somebody move then. I mean, I've watched so many races. I've been in so many races. Like, to make that move, I think caught everybody off guard, including me. I was just like, oh, I got to go.
Yeah.
I was expecting the backstretch. Everybody moves on the backstretch. Rudisha moves on the backstretch. Donavan moves on the backstretch. You name it, they move on the backstretch. But who moves it 420 the way he did? Just hammering.
Maybe that's what you had to do in this situation, right?
I mean, he
put everyone off
well
guard.
deserved to earn his spot on the team.
Good for him. So we're talking, this is an Olympic bronze medalist in the 800. You've been there before. Some people, I'm gonna call it out right now. People might have counted you out. They weren't thinking about you in the 800. I know you're entered in both, right?
Yeah.
So talk about what it's like to tell them you're still here.
I mean, I mentioned in the mixed zone, like, I read that stuff. I see that stuff. You can't not see that stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, it's almost impossible in our day and age of social media and media to not see that stuff. And so why not just put it in my back pocket? I got names. I didn't write them down, but I got names.
It's like the guy from Billy Madison. He's checking them off.
You can say that there's some people who said that either didn't even pick me or that had me in this pool of people for third that are now asking if I'm a gold medal contender. So I won't say names, but there's names who took me from a pool of people to potentially be third to now a gold medal contender in one race. It's crazy how short-term memory there is in track and field.
But the only thing that matters is what you do, and you shut everyone up with your performance.
The only thing that matters is what we do on the track. And as
Absolutely.
long as we're having success on the track and I'm happy with what I'm doing and confident, then everybody else can talk the talk.
I think it's really cool. There's one, so I went to Penn State, obviously, So we got that. Coach John Gondak, Penn State coach, he made a cool point up. Everyone besides Donavan Brazier and Brendan Kidder are still working out with their college coach. Think about it. LeBady, who was second?
Isaiah, college coach.
College coach. Hoppel, college coach. Kidder not. And then we have
the two college kids.
Yeah.
The two college kids.
And then Donavan Brazier's not. With Peter.
Isaiah, yeah.
So talk about like.
So it's like I went from college coach to Alberto back to college coach. And I said it like 2019 when I moved back. It's like riding a bike. You know how like you haven't rode a bike in like a couple years and you get back on, you're kind of wobbly at first.
I remember.
You still know how to ride
I love it. Yeah.
And it just takes a couple rounds of couple loops around the block.
Yep.
And it's just been clicking and like the adversity that I've had, let alone in the last 8 days, let alone in the last 6 months, let alone in the last 2 years that everybody's went through, year and a half. Like, I think there's no way I would have had that success and not been with LeBady. Like, there's just been so much that went on and off the track, and being with somebody who I can ride a bike with. Bro,
I remember when I saw that running with Attila with you back in the day that you were like, LeBady's my man.
Yeah.
Like I knew that you were training at Nike, you were training with all that stuff, but like I knew
he's
that
like more than he's like, and it's too, it's like he's more than a coach. And I know Bryce feels that way about his coach too, and I'm sure Isaiah feels that way about John. And like, it's when you're with your college coach and then you go beyond and do something like Isaiah now making a team with your college coach, it just takes you beyond that 4-year relationship with your coach. It takes you into a realm of like family.
You're also in a very adolescent or independent stage of your career when you're in college.
Yes.
You're like, no mom and dad now. My coach is my mom and dad.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
And then you trust them like your mom and dad, and then you get to the point where you're like, you're my mom. It's more than a coach. It's a family member, right?
Exactly.
So it's really cool coming back. Okay, something everyone's gonna ask. I'm gonna ask you. It's not about you, so maybe you don't want to answer. But Donavan Brazier.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Give what you got.
I mean, it's disappointing, obviously, not having a world champion and the American record holder on the team. But I mean, we put out a great team. And like, that's why, like, that's the toughest part about the trials at the same time as it's the special part about the trials. It's the only country that truly you earn your spot. There's no politics. There's no choices. There's no. I mean, there is like, I guess the ranking standard now. You want to throw that in, but there's like, it's cut and dry. You know, top 3, you get the standard you go on. And I think that makes it pure and it makes it tough. And obviously, I would never wish that on anybody to be on the other side of the table. I never hope I'm on the other side of the table. But like,
absolutely.
I know Donovan's the toughest competitor, one of the toughest competitors I've ever raced against. I know I'm scared what he's going to do post trials, because I've been on the other side in 2017 when I missed the team, and it adds so much fuel to you. And now he's just going to barrel down. I mean, but I think we've got 3 great guys going to Tokyo, and obviously it'd be nice to have Donavan there as a world stage, as an 800 event. But I think there's no reason why we can't put all 3 of us in the final again.
1 or 2 more questions, but I remember asking you this again with running with the Toad. I said, are you an 800 runner or are you a 1500 runner?
Yeah.
And I want to know what you said. It doesn't matter what you said in running with the Toad. What did you say now? Is Clayton Murphy an 800 or a 1500 meter runner?
I'm an 800 meter runner as of today. And we'll come back to the...
Cheers to that.
We'll come back to the 15 at a different time.
So you were entered in both or no?
I am entered in both.
Are you still going to do that? Or do you focus on, you're already an Olympian?
By the time, I guess this probably comes out,
yeah,
I will not be running the 1500.
Okay, cool.
It's a week of training that I can get ready for Europe and for Tokyo. I've been not 100% leading into this, so there's some things I want to get right with my body, with my mind, and so it was very much a backup plan. There was a chance of doubling. Had I been 110% both mentally and physically, there's a chance I'd double even if I won or made the team. But I think there's a lot of opportunities in Europe and leading into Tokyo that can be a lot more beneficial than
absolutely
trying to double back.
Smart, bro. That's smart. I will also say, he just answered his own question. Bronze medalist in the 800, and now he's made it again. You're an 800 runner in my book. I'm sorry. I'll still say you're really, really, really good in the 15, but this guy right now, for USA, he's an 800 runner. So let's effing go. Clayton Murphy in the 800. Anything else you got to say?
Just, I appreciate everything that people do for track and field in the media realm and supporting the sport. I'm very big in trying to grow this sport, and I think there's a lot of opportunities to grow this sport.
Yeah.
And stuff like this goes a long way. So, again, appreciate everything you do for the sport and for us athletes.
So you're kind of new to it, but not new to it. Your YouTube channel. Let's talk about it. Wait, just give it a shout out.
I looked at it. Why'd you get? 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, I was looking at my social media.
I started seeing your Instagram posting.
In my Instagram, and I was kind of just looking at, like, I like to interact with people. I like to have conversations with people. I like to talk about track and field and young runners and what they can do different and stuff like that. And everybody asks questions. You get a lot of, like, DMs and stuff like that. And I'm like, how can I check all these boxes? How can I grow the sport? How can I support people who support me and my sponsors?
Absolutely.
And how can I reach back and give back to people who support me, and athletes and other runners and followers? And I said, I'm just going to put in a little bit of like an effort into this. And I kind of decided to enjoy it and started to enjoy it. And it became one of those things where like I'm going to throw out a YouTube video. And then it became I'm going to throw out this and start doing reels and having fun with it and interacting. And it's been a lot of fun to be able to have more of like a personal connection with people. And I think there's a middle distance part of the sport that people don't see.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that like I think middle distance and track runners in general are afraid to share, because I think a lot of people are afraid to share their workouts or share behind the curtain a little bit because they're afraid of what people might think.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to give my competitors too much. And it's kind of like one of those things where like Bryce, Isaiah, and I are completely different runners. If I give out my workout to Bryce and Isaiah, they could go do it 10 times and not reap nearly the same benefit as me, and vice versa. I could do 10 Bryce workouts and not get the same benefit. So for me, it's like if I can motivate one high school runner to get better, or give one high school.
That's
coach
what life's about. That's what life. We're talking about not
way
running. We're talking about
way
life.
more important than like me sharing a secret or something like that to somebody.
Life is about encouraging the sport, encouraging others, and if you can do something because they know what workout you're doing or they know what you eat or drink before a workout. But Clayton Murphy eats a bagel before a race. I want to eat that because of him. He's great. It encourages people. I think it's a cool thing. Where did you get your logo? And then we'll get going because I saw the CM.
That's a stream. That's from the stream. That's from like Fiverr.
Okay.
When I was streaming, I put it together like the branding for the stream. I was like, I need a logo.
Okay.
The inspiration came from Michael Norman's logo, actually.
Okay. Last question is, so you've known me for a little bit. I'm obnoxious, crazy, but what does a Toad life mean to you?
I think it goes back to my point of just like bringing happiness to the sport, bringing that energy, bringing that vibe of just having fun with running, having fun with the sport, sharing the sport, sharing what you enjoy about the sport. It doesn't matter if you're running marathons on your local city streets, you're running on your local track, or you're competing in Olympic trials. Like, we all compete in the same sport. It's like you go to meets like Music City Carnival, or these meets where high school kids are competing in the same race as you, or they're competing in the heat before you. What other sport do the best in the world and up-and-coming high school kids compete in the same day?
They ain't balling with LeBron James.
There's no little high school AAU game 3 hours before an NBA game.
No.
But at the Olympic trials, you could have, like we've had before, you could have USA Juniors in the morning and then have the Olympic trials at night.
Yeah.
Like, it's a special sport, and to continue to do what you're doing is special.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. All right, so here we go. To Clayton Murphy, being an Olympian once again, 2020, 2020, 2021,
half dash,
whatever, half dash, Olympic, 800 meters. Cheers, mate. Let's
Thanks.
let it rip. Thank you, man. Yeah, thanks, boss. Yeah, thanks for that.
Follow me on Instagram, Clayton Murphy, and follow me on YouTube.
YouTube, we're all about the YouTube. We got to get him some subscribers. What do you got?
What do I got for subscribers?
No, what's your YouTube?
Oh, C Murphy 800.
C Murphy 800.
Thanks, boss. C Murphy 800.
C Murphy 800. Follow this man. Get him some subscribers. He's a legend.